Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to start the 3D modeling. Basically, if to those who have downloaded the Tekla campus, then you can follow, and you can. I can set up the tempo according to if you're following, then I can be slower. But if not, then I can continue. Doing the model, but no worry about it because all this discussion will be recorded. It's recorded, and then it will be post in our LinkedIn group, so you can review this session later if you like. Okay, so let's start with this 3D model. So this is the 3D model that I have done in Tekla Structure. Um, and if you notice here, you can zoom in, zoom out by simply rolling the middle button of your mouse. Zoom in, zoom out, and then you can rotate by pressing the control key and then middle button of your mouse and then move so that you can rotate. Okay. And then if you like uh, to do the clip plane or want to do the section, so you just select the view and then right click and then create view plane, and here pick the surface of the beam, click, and then you can move down so you can see what's inside. Let's say, for example, in this case you have some reinforcement in the foundation. Okay, and then go up, and then if you click on the wall, so you can do the clip plane here on the wall, side view, sideways. So you can make a six-way clip plane in your model, especially if your model is a huge model, then you can do the clip plane. So at the moment, if you notice, I'm on the perspective view. So if I double click the view here, you can see here the perspective. So within this perspective view, usually perspective view is used for the uh, what do you call that? Zooming. Making a walkthrough in the model. So if I press F, Shift F, and then pick the view, so you can see you can make a walkthrough in your model. So you can go inside the model, go up or go down. Pressing the control key, it will go down. And then if you put your cursor going up and then press the control button, it will go up. Okay, so that's the walkthrough in Tekla Structure. And of course, when you want to do the modeling, we always recommend to put that one on the orthogonal view so that it will be much easier for us to handle the 3D model. Okay, so now let's start with the with our modeling. So what I would do is I'm going to delete everything, and basically when you open the Tekla Structure, you will have this 3D view by default. Okay, so I'm going to delete this all views. So this is the view that you're going to get whenever you start the Tekla Structure. Okay, now from this grid line, all right. So if you select the grid line on your right hand side, the properties of the grid line can be found on the right hand side. So here, if I press Control P, okay, Control P, so we change the 3D view to 2D. And then you press the Control P again, Control P, so it becomes 3D again. So that's the switch for 3D to 2D, Control P. Okay, so if this one is not clear to you, then I can just simply type here Control P. Yeah, so this one is changing 3D to plane. Okay, so Control P. So this is how you change the 3D to plane view. All right, so now again, from here you can see the our X and Y Basically, the Tekla structure X and Y is similar to the AutoCAD X and Y or UCS, meaning the UCS of the AutoCAD, if you have a 000, then that's exactly the same as Tekla structure 000 coordinates or the XYZ. Okay, and then here, you will notice here that from A to B, B to C, and C to D, so the value of the coordinates of the x is 3 into 5,000. So, or meaning, you can simply type here. Okay, if for example, if I press 0, so 0 it starts from A, 0 or A to B is, let's say, 6 meter. So I will put 0 and then space 6 meter, and then 6 meter space, then 5 meters, and then 6 meters. So as you can see here, if I modify the grid line, so it will change the size. So if I add another 3 meters here and then modify, so additional grid line will be placed there. Or if this one are like what we modified earlier, if this one is 5 meter space 5 meter space 5 meter and then enter. So as you can see here, automatically this one will be the value will be 3 times into 5,000 or 5 meters. So x and y is a similar value, so we call that one as a relative value. So meaning, from here to here, and then B to C, C to D, so that one is a relative value. Okay, so we call it a relative value. Similarly, that's what you can have in the y direction. This is the y direction. So it's a relative value. Now, okay. So if you have this x and y value as a relative value, the z direction or the elevation is a different one. So we call that one as a absolute value. So if you look onto this one, 3 meters. So if I have the if I can create a view, so under the view, you will see that there's a new view, and then using 2 points. Okay, so if I pick one and then two, as you can see here, I have this uh, section view. So as you can see here, if I go to edit and then measure, so from this point to this point is 3 meters, this point to this point is 3 meters, this one is 3 meters. So if you notice here, the grid line here is 3 meter, 3 meter, 3 meter on the z direction, but the way it's written in the z direction is 369, because this one is an absolute value. So you cannot write here 3 times 3,000, so it will not work. So this one must be uh, measured always from the baseline. So from first floor, or from FFL, finished floor line, to first floor, this one is 3,000. FFL to second floor, this must be 6,000. And then FFL to the roof, this must be 9,000. So this is how it's written in the Z direction. Okay, so I hope that one is clear. So X and Y is a relative value, Z is the absolute value. All right, so let's move on. Okay, so again, we can now start adding the, we can now create the, what do you call that, the view in every grids. So if you notice here, if I press Control I, that's the shortcut for showing the view, Control I. So as you can see here, there's only one view, the 3D view. So here, 3D view, this is the 3D view. If I put that one on the left, so the 3D view is gone, but it's only hidden, but it's still there if I put that one on the right, which is the visible view. Okay, so this is our 3D view. So now we need to create the grid view in every grid lines. Okay, so one way of creating that one manually is earlier when I show you the uh, create using 2 points, but here we have the options. If I select the grid line and then right click on it, and then here create view, and then as you can see here, along grid lines, so it means it will create the view along the grid lines. So there you go. So here it will create the XY, ZY, and XZ. So plan, grid, and then this is the view properties. Under this view properties, as you can see here, you can see the what do you call that, the properties for each and every view that will be created. So meaning one of the property here is the visibility or the view depth. So the view depth means if you're looking at the a grid 1 or grid 2, so meaning you can see only the 500 from the coordinates where you create the view. So meaning on the grid 2, it you can see the 500 millimeter to the right, 500 millimeter to the left, and then if it is a plan view, it will be 500 up and 500 down. So that's the visibility of our view. So we call it as a view depth. So if you're okay with this one, actually you can change this one to 1 meter, 1 meter. That should be okay. So if I type here 1 meter, this one is 1 meter. So I will just simply click here save as. So the value will now change to 1 meter. So again, on the grid elevation, so I will type here 1 meter and then here 1 meter and then save as grid elevation. So now it's time for us to create. So look, if once I hit this create, so everything will be created. So grid one, if I open the grid one, so this is the grid one view. So the first floor plan. So this is the first floor. So look at the first floor plan. As you can see, your UCS is at this area. But if you rotate that one, so as you can see, the distance of the 000 coordinates to the coordinates of the first floor plan is something like there's a value there because we created or we added this value 3 meters. So meaning from origin, it is 3,000 to the grid of first floor plan. Okay, so now I have already all the grids in the in my 3D view. So okay, so is there any question on that grid before we continue? You can just simply type your question in our chat box so that if before I continue, then we can discuss if there's something that it's not clear to you about the creation of grid line. Okay. In addition, in our grid line, in addition in our grid line, um, if you want to manipulate the grid line uh, by simply selecting each and every grid and then move and copy, so you may do so without using these coordinates on the right hand side. So that one is possible by simply uh, selecting this direct modification. So this direct modification is a very good or powerful tool in Tekla structure. Why? Because if I turn on this one, if I select the grid line, see, if I select the grid line, I can just simply uh, select, hold, and then move the grid line wherever I want to move. So look, if I move that one additional 5,000, so my grid line will be moved 5,000. And then if I move here, let's say 1,000, and then if I want to add a grid line between this C and D, all I have to do is to click this point, and there you go. So I have now the CD grid line, CD prime or CD asterisk grid line. If I click on this one, so there will be a CDD grid line here. If I click on the Y direction, then I have this grid line. So this grid, using this direct modification, then you can manipulate the grid line as you wish. So not necessarily to go to the value here in the grid line properties on the right hand side. Okay, so direct modification. And here I can just simply select and also delete if I like. So delete the grid line, and then this one, let's say uh, if I move another 500 here, then delete this one. So now I'm already go back to the original one. Okay, or else because the label here changes. So what I will do is here I can just simply rewrite this one. So A B C D modify, and then this one is remove this 2 3 star, and this is the original form of our grid line. Now if I want to add additional to the Y direction, so I'll just put it 4, and then here Y, I'll put it another 5 on the label. All right, and of course once I added a grid line here, then of course your view will not be updated anymore because there's another grid line here. Uh, since we created this one in automatic way, so I think I mean for me, I just recommend to delete everything and then just simply right click and then create a long grid line and just hit create, and then you're going to have a fresh grid line views. Okay, so that's how we do things here in the grid line. Okay, so if there's some modification now, one thing here is if I fit work area. Okay, okay, let me just repeat that one because I did not fit the work area before I create that one. So no worry, because here I can just simply recreate that one. All right. So now, uh, let's say, for example, I want to have a diagonal grid line in case. So here, I can just simply add uh, what do you call that? A diagonal line or construction point using our construction point here. As you can see here, under the edit, and then here you can see the points, and under the points, you can see the along arc points using center and arc points. So if I click on this one, so as you can see here, the angle. So let's say, for example, I will type here 30 degrees. So meaning if I apply this one and then pick the center point 1 and then 2. So this one is something like the radius of the circle, 1000. So if I pick this one, so there will be a 30 degrees there. So meaning, if I measure this, so right, eh? Okay, sorry. Why I cannot pick the point? Okay, again, measure angle. All right, so that one is the 30 degrees. So again, to get that 30 degrees, let me repeat. So apply. So pick from this point along using center and arc point. So if I click 1 and then 2, so there will be a point going there. So meaning that one is a partial part of the circle. So there will be an imaginary circle here. All right. So this is the radius, and then this one will be the 30 degrees. Okay. All right, so now let's move on. So to remove the 30 degrees here, this one is just this 30 degrees measurement is just a dummy measurement. So you just simply right click and then redraw. So the measurement will be there. Okay. When I redraw, also the points, it's gone. So just simply go to the display and then turn on the points and then modify. All right. So this one is the uh, construction point again. So with that construction point, I can now change my view UCS work plane. So remember our UCS basically is here, the 000 in the origin. So I need to change this UCS here at this point with a certain 30 degrees. So go back to the view and then work plane, and then here I can use the using 3 points so that I can identify where is the X location. So if I click here one, so here as you can see here, okay, one thing that you need to remember in Tekla structure, when you click a certain command, let's say using 3 points, so at the lower left bottom corner, okay, here, this one, okay, at the left bottom corner, you always you always see the procedure, or I mean the command. So pick the origin. So here, pick one, the origin, and then the next thing to do is pick point on the positive X direction. So this is the positive X direction, and then pick point on the positive Y direction. The positive Y direction is on the left side, so I can pick anywhere on the left side. No need to pick the exact location, but only the side, so that the UCS will be changed to that position. So this one is the UCS now. All right. So I hope that one is clear. So in that case, if you want to add now a an additional grid line here, let's say you have a uh, diagonal grid line here. So you go to the let's see, to the edit here. Under the edit, you can see here grid, and there under the grid you can see here create rectangular grid. Since our rectangular grid line properties is the same to the original one, so if I pick on this point, okay, if I click here, this is the same grid line. But of course, if you want to change this grid line, you may do so. Just simply put here, let's say 2 into 4 meters, okay, and then this one is, let's say, 2 into 6 meters. So that is the additional grid line in the diagonal form. All right. Okay. So that again, that one is for the diagonal grid. So you need to change the UCS. Now, if you're done with that one, then you can go back to the original of the UCS. Here, you can click here parallel to XYZ and then simply change this part, and then now the UCS goes back to the origin, and then you leave this diagonal. Okay, so that's how you add the diagonal grid in your view. And okay, let me delete this one. Now let's try the other part. So here you will notice also under the grid, you can see here the create radial grid line. So create radial grid line is this one. So if you have something like a radial grid line, then you can click this radial grid line. So now if you notice here, because my UCS was placed again to the origin, if I click on this one, my radial grid line will be on the origin. So here, if I delete this one, so this is my radial grid line in case that you need the radial grid line. All right. So I will just undo and then remove the radial grid line. And look, under in the radial grid line, you can see there is a different way of creating this one, because in radial grid line, as you can see here, the angle, so 15 degrees, so meaning this one is 15 degrees, 30 degrees, 30 degrees, and then 15 degrees. And then the elevation is similar to the elevation on the normal grid line. Okay, so now let's move on. All right. So we can now add our what do you call that? We can now add a an element here. All right, so elements. So in Tekla structure can handle a multi-material element. So meaning we can start with the concrete. We can add the steel, even aluminum, rubber, or timber. So we can do the modeling. It's a matter of calling the what kind of material you're going to use. So at this point of time, let me just quickly create a concrete frame here. Okay, so here I will just simply use the concrete, and then use the pad footing. So if I double click the pad footing, again, on the right hand side, you can see the name, and then the profile, and then the material. So the material of this one at the moment is a concrete. So there's a steel, there's a miscellaneous here, there's a reinforcing bar, there's a timber. But at the moment, we use the material as a concrete. So the profile, we can change the profile, let's say 1500 by 1500. Okay, sorry. And then the footing, we can put pad footing. All right, and then here you can see the top and bottom. So meaning top is the global coordinates, bottom again is the globe from the global coordinates. If you put 0, so that one is the 0 from the global coordinates, and then negative 750, it will go down 750. So if I click here, so that one is the uh, 0. This is 0, and that is a negative 100 750. So I can change the color here. There you go. And then so let's populate this grid line with all these what I call that pad footing. So I can just simply, once I added the pad footing on these properties, if I add the pad footing here, it will become the same properties automatically. All right. And then maybe we can add a strip footing here. There's a strip footing. So strip footing, as you can see here, 300 by 600. So if I click here to here, so that one is the strip footing. So 1, 2, and then middle button of your mouse. 1, 2, middle button of your mouse. The reason why I need to pick middle button of your mouse, because strip footing could be a polygon shape. So 1, 2, 3. So something like this. So if you have a different shape of the strip footing, you can do that one. That's the reason why I pick a middle button of my mouse. So if I may select this one and then change the color, so all the footing will be color, um, what do you call that, gray. And then now, if you notice, I modeled that one directly in 3D. But if you want to model that one in 2D, it's also okay. I can simply select, right click, and then here copy special. Again, select, right click, and then copy special. And then as you can see here, linear meaning if I click this linear, so it will ask me to pick 2 points. So if I pick 1 and then 2, so that one will be the direction where you want to copy this footing. So if I pick here 1, 2, and then you can see here 5,000, automatically this 5,000 will go to the y direction, positive, going up. And then number of copies, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll type here 4 and then copy. So you're now going to have a uh, pad footing and then the strip footing on the grid 1 to 5. Okay. And then if I'm going to uh, add again the strip footing on the y direction, so I'll just simply click here. One. Okay. So from here, I'll start. I'll select this one again and then copy special. So I can use the same value, right? And then delete this one. And then this time, I will copy that one to the X direction. So no need for me to pick the direction because I know where it will go. Because here I have the UCS going to the negative X. So I will just simply clear the value here. And then I type here negative 5,000 and then copy. Oh, sorry. Undo, Control Z. So 1, 2, 3. I'll type here 3. Copy. So I have now the pad footing on the. So again, in Tekla structure, you will notice that this one is not just a 3D view. Okay, but basically this one is an object wherein you can inquire. If I select this inquire and then part, so as you can see here, uh, these these are the length and these are the weight. This is the volume of the concrete and then the area of the concrete, and this is the what do you call that? The width and the height of the concrete. So pad footing. So the informations are already. You can easily create the report for that information. Okay, so now similarly, this one, okay, look, the good thing here is, let's say, for example, to sell, I want to inquire only for the this for pad footing. I want to see, okay, what is the total volume of this pad footing? One, two, three, four. So I select this four, and then here you can see the custom inquiry. So as you can see here, for quantity of the pad footing, so you can see here the total volume is 6.75 cubic meter. If I select everything here, all this line, so the volume is 8.64 cubic meter. If I select individual, 1.69. And if I select all, so here, sorry, uh, I need to deselect. I don't know why it's not selecting. Okay, so here, okay, there you go. So select and then select, select. All right, as you can see here, as I select the there's some, okay, because there is a point there that I'm selecting. Yeah. So you need to select only the element so that it will give you, see, the total volume of 53 cubic meter. For your reporting, you can easily get that one. No need for you to calculate. All right. So having said this, okay, so now I can add the column. So for the column, I can just simply select the column here. Again, you double click the column, and then here uh, on the column here, you can add the profile. So our profile is parametric. I can put here 400 by 400. And then let's say I use this color, and then the height of the column is 3 meters. Okay, from 0 to 3 meters. So now the bottom is 0, and then the top is 3 meters, because it will be above these coordinates. Earlier, our foundation is different because it's below the coordinates. Now it will be above. So I can choose this one, select 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if I continue with this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, or I can just simply select this and then copy linear again. So pick from this point to this point. Maybe I copy as 1. All right, so that one is for the steel. And then for the beam part, I can just simply select this beam. So here I'll say 600 by 400, and then my beam is color, let's say green. So look, if I pick this point, 1 and then 2, okay, and then 1 and then 2. So I have now this beam. So here I can just simply select this, copy. I can use the copy command, not the copy special. Copy command is I can copy anywhere. So if I click here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So in any direction, I can copy if I use the simple copy command. This one is similar to the copy multiple in AutoCAD. And then this one, I can just simply copy again, this point to this point, and then here, copy special linear from this point to this point. As you can see here, negative, then I'll type here 3, and you're going to have now this column. All right, so if I copy this one, copy special linear, this time I'm going to copy this one on the Z direction. So I will just simply clear this one. So I type here 3 meters, and then here, let's say 2, copy. So you have now this 3-story building. Okay, so that's my structure now. So I hope this one is clear. If you have any question, just let me know. Okay, so that I can we can have the discussion, or I can repeat if it's not clear. All right. So now I have the column and beam frame at the moment, right? And this one is for concrete. Okay, this one is for concrete. Now, if we are talking about the steel, so look, I can just simply add the steel part here uh, on this area on the four and fifth what do you call that, grid. So under this column, now at the moment I'm using the steel element. So I will select the profile. So in steel element, you can see a lot of steel connection here. So, or sorry, steel profile here. So you have the UC, UB, and then edge section. So these are the library of Tekla structure for the structural steel. So I'll select the UC 305 by 305 by 18118, apply. And then again, this one will be 3 meters. Okay, so click here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I can just simply select again, copy from here. Yeah, there you go. Now, this one, if you want to change the height of this beam, uh, you can change that one, and then let's say this one is 6 meters, and then modify. So you can change that one uh, directly. So this four items, you can select everything and then change the height. And then for the beam, for this beam, again, I can pick from this point 1 and then 2. So as you can see here, 5,000, and then using the snapping tools on the midpoint. So if I click here, so that one, oh no, that one is wrong. Sorry. So maybe select again this one, and then here. So you need to click. Okay, so that one is the uh, beam. And then you can just simply copy this one, copy 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So you have copied the beam there. All right. And then uh, let's say for this example, I'm going to have a uh, roof here. Okay. So this one is diagonal rafter here connected to the uh, concrete. So I'm going to have a concrete and steel connection here. So what I will do is this. So if I select again this beam, so if I pick here to here, so look, if I select this one, that one is 5,000. If I press the control key and then click and then move up, let's say 1,500. So that one will be my rafter there. Okay. Again, let me repeat, huh? So here, basically you can add the construction line or construction point, but in Tekla structure there are some shortcut that you can use and very effective. So if I click here, just click one, and then here, if I click here, the beam will be straight. But before I click, I need to press down the control key, control, press, hold, click. So now it become red. So that will become a dummy. And then if I move up 1.5, so click without pressing the control key, then you can see that that will be uh, the second point. Okay, and then I can just simply copy this one, and then 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and there you go. So all we have to do now is to add uh, the intermediate beam here, or let's say, for example, I mean the tied beam. So here, I can use the smaller beam, let's say a 305 by 305 by 165 by 140. So pick here one, two, oh, sorry, again, one, two. Okay, by the way, if you are because at the moment what I'm showing you is if you want to create that one in the 2D, in the 3D way of modeling. But if in case that if you're used to the 2D way, you can always press Control I, and we can use that the view that we have created earlier. Let's say first floor. Okay, first floor. So this one. So now I can add the beam here under the first floor. So look, so this one, if I click on this first floor, that one will be, if you go to the 3D view again, so see, it will be placed properly there. Okay, I think sorry, it doesn't change the size to UB305, or yeah, so I can change it now, UB305 by 165, and then modify. All right, so that is the UB305, a smaller one. And then here you can just simply copy this one, copy linear to the Z direction again, one piece, and then copy, then there you go. So this is our structure now. This is what our structure looks like. But again, this one is only a frame. So if you notice here, this is how easy you can do the modeling in less than 30 minutes, or in 30 minutes time you can create the model. Okay, but again, this one is just a geometry model. We haven't done the details yet. Okay, so now if we may add something like if we want to add a wall here. All right, so just simply click the panel, concrete panel, and then here you have the panel. We can type here as a wall. So if this one is 2.6, so this one will be 2.4, 2.4 by 120, and then middle. So as you can see here, we can change this one to blue. So pick this point, and then pick this point, middle button of your mouse. So you have now the wall here. So if you select and then right click, copy linear going up 2, then 3 meters going up, copy. So you have now the wall on this part. All right. And of course, if you want to have a slab, so you can add also the slab here. So using this slab, so just simply again select the thickness of the slab, let's say 150, and then going down is behind, and then what else? Let's say I put a color 13 for the slab. So here you can just simply pick the corner, and you will have slab now. So just simply copy, pick this point to this point. So you have now the corner. Okay. Now, the good thing with Tekla structure is this. What if there is a modification on the grid line? So let's say this grid line, instead of 3,000, instead of 3 into 5,000, so I'm going to put a 5,000, and then the middle one will become 6,000, and then the C to D is 5,000. So look, if I change that way, if I type here 5,000 space 6,000 and then 5,000 and then modify, look what will happen. So the grid line moves, but of course, you need to move also all the elements. But okay, having said that, if I control Z or undo, before I change that value, okay, let's say I change that value to 5,000, 6,000, and then 5,000. So look what will happen. Before I modify, at the bottom part of this one, you can see here magnetic grid plane. So if I say magnetic grid plane, if I say yes, okay, and then modify, so look what will happen. All right. So all the frame, all column and beam move along with the grid line, because the meaning of this magnetic grid plane means there's a magnet on the element if it is exactly on the same level of the what do you call that, the grid. Okay, if it is touching the grid, then it will move accordingly. But since this strip putting is not on the same grid of this C, so that's why it got left behind. But no worry, you can just simply select all the handle. So press alt key, alternate key, and then select that handle, and then right click and then move. So you can move the handle from this to this. So move 1000, and then again repeat that one, press alternate key, and then right click and then move. So now it's already in right place. But again, you will have an issue in the here in the view, because why? In the view, if I fit work area, in the view, this one we need to regenerate again by simply deleting it and then select the grid line, create along grid lines again. All right. I can again, if you may ask, hey, why don't we just modify the grid line according to the movement? Yes, you can do that one, but it will be much faster if you recreate the grid line by simply delete and create again the grid line. So that one is much more faster way of dealing with this view. Okay, so now that we have already the uh, this what do you call that, this model, we can now start adding our connection. Okay, so adding connection, meaning adding the details. It could be adding reinforcement or adding the what do you call that, the connection on the steel or the connection to the beam and column of the concrete. So uh, we need to use our system component. But before I show you our system component, I can also show you how to create that one manually quickly. So let's say, for example, in this particular footing. Okay. So what I will do is I can change now the view, the rendered view of my model. So if I press Control 1, okay, so Control 1 meaning that one is a wireframe. Control 2 is a shaded wireframe. So meaning if I have the reinforcement inside, I can see it because it's transparent. Control 3 is a white. Control 4 is the normal one or the render view. And then Control 5 is the ghost image. It will only highlight those you are going to select. Okay. So that one, this one is very useful if I select everything and then add or do the class check. So class checking, meaning this one is a very important part of the this one, because class check means it will tell you which one is has some collision. So here there is a report. If I select column and beam, see, column and beam meaning, see, there is a collision between the column and beam because there's no connection yet. Okay, so you will notice that everything will have a class check here, or I mean clashing, because I haven't done any connection yet. All right, so let's close this one now and then continue with our connection. So let me try first on this part. Now, if I want to isolate this particular element, you can just simply select this element, right click and then hide. Sorry, select this element, press the shift key, hold, right click and then show only selected. Show only selected. So now other element is gone. If you right click and then redraw, then it will be back. Okay, it will be restored. Okay, so again, select, press shift and then right click and then show only selected. There you go. So now I can add the reinforcement here manually. First time I will use the reinforcing bar group here. So under the bar group, let me just show you first how we deal this one manually, and then later I will use the system component that we have. Okay, so under this, you can see here I have the normal rebar, and then let's say I'll type here U bar or main bar. So the size here is, let's say, 16. I'll put 3, and then here no hook and then no hook. Then this one 25 is okay. 200 200 is the spacing. So look, if I select this one, select the part to reinforce, which is this pad footing. So select the shape 1, 2, 3, 4, and then middle button of your mouse, and then select the range of the reinforcement from here to here. So look, immediately I have already the reinforcement here. And then the good thing here is if I select this pad footing and then inquire the cast unit, you can see the bar bending schedule here already. So size 16, and then you have the total length of the rebar. Okay, now if I continue, so I'll use the same properties. So pick the part to reinforce, and then here 1, 2, 3, 4, and then middle button of your mouse, and then from this point to this point, then there you go. So you have now this reinforcement. So for this reinforcement, if you notice here, there's a collision, okay? Because you can visualize. That's a good thing with 3D. You can visualize. So meaning, in this case, the second one, I may change the color here. The second one, I will remove the first and last rebar because I don't need this rebar, the first and last. So select that one, and then as you can see here, remove the first and last. Okay, exclude first and last, modify, so there's no first and class. And then how about this one? How about the uh oh sorry, this one? If I change now the prompt plane, so let's say I'll put here 100 and then modify. So there you go. So I just I just moved the prompt plane there. So that's the okay. Now if I'm going to if I want to remove this clash here, so I need to change the cover thickness of one of this U bar. So the cover thickness is this. If I change this one to 50, or sorry, to 35 maybe, modify. So look, there's still, so maybe 40 or 45. Okay, but the problem is the cover on this side, it becomes also 45. So what I will do to maintain this 25 and then this one is 45 is I'm going to change this value to 25 space 45 space 25. So meaning this one is 25, this one is 45, this one is 25 again, modify. So there you go. So now it's okay now. So no clashing anymore. So that's how you create the reinforcement manually. So this one, if you want to add additional reinforcement here, then again, just simply put it none. But the thing is, you need to change the this prom plane to 50 or maybe seb 100. Okay, there you go. All right. So also, if you want to add the laser bar, again, under the bar group, this time I will type here links. And then here, let's say 8, and then 20. And then hook is 90 degrees, 90 degrees. This one, let's say 15, cover. And this one is also 15. This one is 100. So select now, change the color. So select the part to reinforce, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Middle button of your mouse, and then the range from here to here. So that one will be a close link now. Close link. Okay. So that's how you create the reinforcement manually. Uh, All right. So now let's move on to the to this other footing, but this time I'm going to use the uh, system component. So unless you have any question, okay. Sorry, Dimna, Dimna. How about if I have a drop slab, let's say 50 millimeter? Okay. Okay. If you have a drop slab of 50 millimeter here, you can see here. If I again create. Oh, sorry. Let me just show only selected. Sorry, I didn't see this one. So here, what you can do is this. I can simply there are different ways. Let me just show you one way. So here, if I change this one to 250, and then I have a drop of what do you call that at this part. Sorry. Okay, let me just undo. Okay, let's say this one is 150, and then let's say I have a drop here of I'm going to use now my polygon cut. So one, let's say this one is 1/6, and then this one is let's say 2/7, 1/6, and then middle button of your mouse. So look, if this one is the slab, okay, so I can simply change this one to 0, and then behind or front, okay, and then let's say the drop is only 50 millimeter, 50 millimeter drop, modify. So you can just simply cut the slab and then have the drop there. Now, in case that you have something like that drop is you want to maintain this 150 thickness, okay, even though you have a drop. So you can just simply add additional concrete slab here. So from here, 1 to 1/6 by okay, 1/6 by uh sorry, I think 2/8, right? So this one, you can change this one to another 50 and then modify. So you can just simply add this one to cast unit, add to here. So that one will be one entity. Or maybe if I change this one to concrete, sorry, to CIP, I think this one is cast in place. Yeah, cast in place. and this one is also cast in place. All I have to do is to, okay, Control E. Let me just go to this spore view. Sorry, I did not turn it on earlier. So I need to enable the pore management so that even though I have a two parts there, it will be union. Okay. So all I have to do is to save this one and then open again the model, workshop model. Okay, let me show you what will happen. So I just reopen the model and then turn on the pore view so that if it is a cast in place uh, element, so this one will be okay. Right, Control 4. Oh, sorry, still opening.
Sorry, Mr. Dennis.
Yes,
Dimna.
yeah, yeah.
Let's say if we do the drop slab, so the overall slab is still one solid slab or discontinuous when during the analysis when we do the analysis later on.
Okay, so for the analysis, because the thing is, we are not.
Because when we do the riba detailing, is it this the riba will be continuous to the drop slab or will discontinuous?
It depends on how you want to add the rebar. Because here, if I create the clip plane here, so if you notice here, it will be one part now. So it depends now if you want to add the slab here, the rebar. So let's say here I can just simply add the bar group. So I can pick this point and then here. So one, sorry. So one, uh, two, three, and then four. So this one, middle button. If I pick from this point to this point, 4. So my reinforcement is only up to that one. So maybe, sorry, I need to change this one to, sorry, to 8 and then 10, modify. Yeah. So there you go. So here, it depends on where you pick, because now the thing is this reinforcement will be stopped only on this part.
Which is mean your riba detailing is based on your selection point to which
Ye-
part to
Correct,
end
selection.
part.
Correct,
Oh,
selection port. But okay, that one is the okay. Let me just sorry. Let me just select this, and then show only selected. Okay, let me concentrate on this slab. So, but if you're talking about a core view, okay. So look, if I use my rebar set here, rebar, and then here you can see the crossing bar. So look what will happen. If you notice here, if I click on this one, this is the other way of adding the rebar. If I click one, two, okay. Look, if I click the middle button of my mouse, so as you can see here, because of the okay, because this one is too small, but if you notice, it will cut automatically. So this one is one with a bend. This one is a continuous one using the other way of creating the reinforcement. This rebar set. That one can be done. So look, you have two sets of reinforcement. One is the bend and one. Now the reason why this one is has this part. Okay, let me just rebar bending. Let's say 10. Okay, there you go. So as you can see here, this one is with a bend because of the drop, and this one without the bend because this one is a straight one. Okay, is that clear, Dimna?
yes.
Okay, all right,
Yes, thank you.
all right.
Okay.
So let's continue. Okay, so now the other way of adding the reinforcement is this. Here, if you notice, that one are all manual way of adding the reinforcement. But uh, this one is a quick one. If I type here pad footing, so as you can see here, the pad footing reinforcement number 77. So you may take note of this one, because later if you want to use, then just type number 77, and sorry, and then you can have the this reinforcement. So look, this component have the primary, have the primary bar, have the secondary bar. You can see the the spacing. You can see the size, laser bar. Okay, and then if I apply and click OK, so look, if I select this pad footing, in no time it will add the reinforcement here. And look, see here, just simply click, and then you have the pad footing reinforcement. Yeah. And then the good thing with the pad footing is, the good thing with this reinforcement, if I change the size of this one, let's say a 1 meter by 800. Oh, sorry, 1 meter by 800. Enter. See, you can change that one. Okay, that one is the laser bar. Maybe I'll put here a 2 meter by 2 meter. So as you can see here, automatically the reinforcement will move accordingly. Actually, even in the manual, remember this one is the manual. So if I change this one to 2 meters by 1 meter, see, it changed automatically. That one is also possible. Even if as you can see here, sorry, why this one is okay. Okay, this one should be 15, 15, modify. So look, even this link, if I right click, copy to another object, okay, copy to another object. Uh, if I select the source, this one, and then select, if I select this column, look, from this footing, if I select the column, see, I can have the links, and then even the beam, I can have the links, and then I can change the uh, this one to 200 by 200. So that's how Tekla structure works. Even they have a this one is a different item, then you can still copy that one to the other items. But anyway, that one is just an option. But I have another way to add this reinforcement. Okay, so let's continue with the strip footing. So strip footing, go back to this application and components. So you type here strip. As you can see here, strip footing, double click again. So as you notice here, you have the main bar, the size of the main bar, bottom bar, attributes, the stirrups, okay? So let's say this one is 200, and then under the picture, so as you notice here, 200. So if you want to extend the reinforcement to the footing to connect, so let's say I'll put here negative 500, and then this one is also negative 500. Apply. So pick the object, modify. See, you can extend that one. So the main bar, yeah, so you can see the main bar extended. So apply and okay. So you can just simply select this, and then pick pick this one, and see, you can have now this. All right. So this one, I think you need to move here, because earlier, yeah. All right. So meaning all this pad footing, I need to move this one, because earlier when I moved the okay, so there you go. So continue with that one. All right. And then the next one is the column. So enable for us to connect the column to the pad footing. So I can type here starter bar. This is starter bar. So in this starter bar, I can just simply go to this location. Let's say this one is 350, 350, and then the bottom cover. So the height, let's say 1 meter. Apply, and then okay. So pick the so when I pick the footing, so as you can see here, I have now this connection between the footing and then the column. So select only the footing here. So I'll pick this footing, click, select the footing, and then you can see it's populated with this reinforcement. And for the column, I can just simply add now the number 83. So, or you just type rectangular column. Take note of that one again. Rectangular column reinforcement number 83. So if you double click again, as you can see here, so you can specify the size of the reinforcement. Let's say 20. The bar end, if it is exposed, or the stirrup, if this one is 200 by 200, 200 center to center. You have the overlapping of uh, the links. Okay, so the type of links that you want to use, intermediate link, also apply, and okay. So if I may select again the column, so click this column, click this column, this one. So as you can see here, yeah. So select the column and then okay. Even if I make a window to this column, see, as you can see here, it will connect to it will add the reinforcement to the column if you make a window. All right. So that's how the column works. And then uh, for the connection between the beam and the column, okay. Now, if you notice this connection is something like a uh, what do you call that, cast in place connection. So meaning cast in sight. But in case that this one is a precast connection, the column and the beam, it will have a corbel connection. But before that, so here, if you want to have this column with the cranking, and then extend the reinforcement to the uh, other level of the column. So you may select the bar end, and then here, corner bar. So I'll type here, let's say 800, modify. So look, it extend, but I need to do the cranking like this. So if I type here 60, 60, modify. So as you can see here, it does the cranking. Okay. So here you may change this one to 0, and then this one is 150. Modify. Yeah. So as you can see here, there is a cranking, and then that one is extended to the other column. All you have to do is to select this, this, this. Okay. Select all the reinforcement on the bottom part. Okay. And then modify. So everything will have this crank in the column. All right. Sorry, Jipong. How about what is RWDP? Rainwater down pipe. Ah, okay. Yeah. If you want to have pipe or rainwater pipe in the column, then you may model that one as well, if you like. So here, if I select this, okay, this is how you do it. So under this column, or sorry, maybe I'll use the poly beam. So this poly beam, I'm going to use the what is that? Poly beam. Sorry. Steel, or maybe either steel or concrete, because pipe is something like a PVC pipe, so that one is something like a plastic material. So I'll use this poly beam, and then let's say PVC pipe. Here under the profile, I'll type here PD. PD means pipe diameter, and then if the pipe diameter is, let's say, 100, and then the thickness is maybe 5. Okay, so I'll use the green. So in this case, I may I use this middle and then middle. So from here, I will select here one, maybe 50, one, and then 200, and then go up to here. Ah, sorry, why it's not okay. Anyway, I'll just put anything here. So something like this. And then if you want, I can just simply move this one a little bit, slanted. And then this one, I can just simply move this one a little bit out. And then this one, I can add the rounding here, say 100, modify. So something like this. And then if you want to cut the column, so you can just simply edit and then part cut, select this and then select that one. Then the column will have an opening now. So if you notice here, so it's if I look, if I hide this one, the column is hollow. Hide, yeah. Or if I just simply create, so that one is, the column is hollow. All right, so no worry. Okay, so good. So all right, so I hope you can uh, type more questions so that it will be much more interactive in our session. All right. Okay. The next thing to do is next is, again, like what I've said, we can, if we want to connect the column and beam. So all I have to do here is to select now the corbel connections, and then here under the corbel connection you can just simply type here, let's say this one is 200, and then here is 250, then this one is 250, apply. So this is the type of corbel that we're going to use. We can use a round one or the trapezoid one, then the reinforcing bar, apply, and okay. So look, select the column and then pick the beam, then the beam will be cut accordingly. Yeah, so look, see, the beam already cut. And then here, control 4, select the column and beam, column and beam, column and beam, column and beam, column and beam. So now we have the corbel connection. And then for the beam, if we want to add the reinforcement for the beam, you type here number 63 or beam reinforcement. Again, same thing. So you have now the size. So let's say this one is 20. So the hook, the spacing of the stirrups, let's say this one is 200. Apply, and okay. So select the beam, and then as you can see here, we have the uh, connection on the beam between the column. All right. And then if you want to add also the reinforcement to the corbel, you type here corbel connection. So here I have this uh, corbel reinforcement. So if I select the column and then these two corbel, middle button of your mouse, then you can see here column, corbel, sorry, column, and then the two corbel. Why? Okay, there you go. So column and then corbel and column corbel. All right. So now that is the reinforcement. Okay, so that's how you add the reinforcement. even in the wall, okay, if I let me just simply isolate this wall, okay, create 3D view, okay, under this 3D view means I isolated this wall. So here, if I have the opening in this wall, let's say I have the door opening, so select, oh sorry, select the wall, and then here pick one, let's say one, then 2 meter, 900. So this is the opening, and then for the uh, okay, for this one, so I have the window opening. There you go. So look, if I type here mesh, so we can double click the wall, the wall, yeah, the wall. Open the mesh bar. So if I click the wall, look what will happen. There will be a mesh there. So here, this mesh, maybe I'll change the spacing value here. Let's say 150. Modify. So that's the spacing value. Okay. Or maybe I can just simply change a little bit. Okay. So something like that. All right. And then uh, to reinforce the edge of this, if you notice here, automatically the mesh will be cut according to the opening. Okay. So look, if I want to have an edge reinforcement, so I will just type here edge, and then as you can see here, edge and corner reinforcement. So if you want to have a diagonal bar, and then here you can see here diagonal bar here, let's say one, and then apply. And then look, if I if I select the wall, control 2, control 4, so that I can select the wall. So you can see here, you have now this edge rebar, okay, to strengthen the wall. All right. So that's how you add the reinforcement to the wall. And then the good thing here is, look, if let's say for example, this wall, okay, this wall, uh, I can select now the assembly, and then select this wall assembly. Right click. So if I copy all contents to another object, so if I click here, then that one will be copied. So let's say this one is copied to the top. Copy all content, so here. But of course, the top, I'm not going to I'm not going to add this door, but this opening, I'm going to move the opening to the middle. So let's say 1000. Okay. Now, if you control P, see, automatically it changed, or control 2, you can see now this one is when I remove the door, the reinforcement uh, already changed as well. So this I can select this wall, and then right click, copy all contents to another object. So if I click here, one, two, three, and there you go. So you have now this wall. So of course the bottom will have the door, and then this one, the top, should have only the opening. All right. So okay, is there any question? So that is for our concrete. That is for our concrete. So I think this time we are going to do we're going to do now the steel connection. So if there's no other question, then I can move on to the steel connection. So for the steel connection, so here, similar thing what we have done in concrete. So as you can see here, I have now the application and component. If I type here base plate or base, so as you notice here, I have the base plate. open. So you can see here the part, let's say 25, then the parameter, then the anchor rod. All right. So this is the anchor rod that we want to create this way. All right. The bolt, let's say, for example, if this one is 300, 300, so maybe I'll type here 2 into maybe 450. Let's see. This one is 2 also 450, and then 50, 50, 50, and then 50. Apply. So look, if I select this column and then pick this position, so it will create now the, oh, sorry. It will create now this one must be 2 only. Yes. See, you have now this, or maybe I'll change the color so that we can easily see. 13, modify, apply, okay. So if you control 2, so as you can see here, you have now this uh, base plate connection. So if you're happy with this base plate connection, all you have to do is to select all this column and then pick one position, and then the base plate will be placed there already. Yeah. So you have now the base plate connection. And then for this, you can just simply add a, let's say, a hinge connection, number 40. So you can take note of that one, hinge number 40, this one. So I can use the default one, select the uh, column and select the beam. So as you can see here, you have now the hinge connection. So if you want to change something here, let's say for example the placement of the bolt here. Okay, again we can put here 13, modify, and then for the, oh, whoa. Okay, so for the bolt here, from here you type here top, and then you type here, let's say 150, modify, so that it will adjust, or sorry, maybe 120, 120 only. Okay, so you have now the, so apply and okay. So if you want to use that one to all the connection here, column and beam. So column and then beam, column and then beam. Yeah. And this one also, column beam. Okay. So same thing. So you will notice that there's a lot of lines here. This one is the cuts and this one are the welding. So if you just simply right click and then redraw, then it will vanish, because in my display here, as you can see here, cuts and fittings uh, are off under the component, and also the welding is off under the component. All right, so let's continue. We can add also the connection here. Let's say con- number connection number 187. So what is connection number 187? So here, if I select this one, plates, let's say this one is 12, and then the bolt is, we'll put the middle, and then let's say 3 into 60, if it is okay. And then here I put only 1, and then this one will be 40, and then this one is 40. And what else? Stiffener is okay. So general, I type here 13, apply and okay. So select the column and then this beam, and then you can see here I have now this pin plate or shear plate connection. So select column. Okay. I think the thing that I need to remove here is the far side stiffener. So far side should be 0. Far side should be 0. Modify. Apply and okay. Why 0? Because so that it will not duplicate if I select this one. See, only near side. So click here, column, and then column, and then beam, column, beam. So column, beam. Sorry, column, beam. Yeah. And lastly, this one, column and beam. All right. And for this one, actually, I can use the ib connection here. Ib. Uh, where is the ib's connection? So here, ib hunch. So if I pick one, two, so I have now, see, automatically the column will be cut. But actually, we can change that one. So if I type here 100 and then modify, sorry, maybe this one, modify. Uh, okay, so let's see. So this one could have a something like a parameter that we can change, modify. Uh-huh. But again, it will be. I mean, I think I need to move this beam a little bit lower, let's say 100, so that I can add the connection. So in this case, since this one is yellow, the reason why it's yellow uh because of the this one, the edge distance. So under the vertical here, so I like, let's say two, then 120, and then this one is 40, 40. Modify. Okay, and then hunch. Okay, let's say this one is 100. Modify. Sorry, from top, then 100. Sorry, from below, maybe 150. Yes. Okay, but again, under this one, the parameter, I can put here 300, modify. Sorry, no. Maybe 500. Yes. Okay. So that is the uh, hunch connection. I don't know why still it's yellow. I'm not sure. But anyway, should be okay. Apply and okay. And then redraw. So you can just simply select this one, select this one, and redraw. All right, and then this, I can just simply move. I can just simply move here, let's say 100, and then I can use now my 141 clip angle. So this is the clip angle connection, 141, single side. So the other one is 143. So this one is 141. So let's say I need to add another maybe I need to add another three. Three is okay. Apply and okay. And then here, I'm going to apply that one also to the end. This. And then this, the one in the middle is 143. So 143 meaning it will be a common bolt between the two beams. So here under the bolt, I can use again here 3 and then 3, apply and okay. So all we have to do is select 1, 2, 3. Sorry, 1, 2, 3. Middle button of your mouse. There you go. 1, 2, 3. Middle button, and there you go. Okay, so how about for this connection here? This connection is something like there's a, I think there's an embed embedded okay, column. What will be the connection here? I think it should be embed, but should actually there should be a plate here. Let's see. Let me just check what will be the connection. I forgot the name of the connection is plate. It should be an embedded plate here. Something like this. Cast in, cast in plate. So meaning, uh, pick the part, pick the position. No, 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 no. No, it's not this one. But sorry, I cannot. Don't know how this one works. But that should be the connection. But anyway, I can just simply use the. I can simply use the 144 first, the end plate connection, something like this, and then all I have to do is to just simply remove the bolt, and that one will be. I will just simply remove the bolt for the meantime. Uh, 0 and then 0. Yeah, and then the plate size will be end plate 20 by, let's say, a 250 modify. Yeah. So yeah, so that one will be the connection first. 13. Okay, so there you go. So something like a welded connection to, so we can add a plate there like an embedded plate. All right, so okay, so we still have time now to what we can do now is, since we already created all the connection here, huh? What we can do is run the numbering. So run the numbering meaning, if you notice here, each and every element, if you inquire this one part, so there is no number. So the system will automatically assign the piece marking to each to each and every element. So here, run numbering, perform numbering. So look, earlier it's 0. Now if you inquire, this one will become M12 and B22, or B22 as the assembly. Okay? So with this numbering, we can now create the drawing. So first, let's create the 3D drawing. Okay? So create a GA drawing. So 3D view. First, I'm going to create the 3D view. So meaning it's just a print of this 3D in our view. This one, I'm going to put that one in the drawing sheet. Okay. So create. So look what will happen. So the system will automatically create the drawing for us. So numbering complete, and then where's the drawing? Here. See, it creates a drawing. Sorry. Let me just. Okay. Sorry. All right, so let me just close the drawing first. Okay, so here, let me just delete this one. So this is the drawing that we have created now. All right, so look, it's quite nice. If you want to make it black and white, so just simply press B. B as in boy. Okay, just press letter B to change to black and white. Okay, B also to make it a colored one. Okay. Actually, you can change the color of the color of this this drawing if you like. So here, if you just simply click on the view properties and then go to the part, and then under the appearance, you can change this one to yellow color. So everything will be yellow. Okay. So that one is under the view part. But if you want to, let's say, for example, you want to be specific to what you want to change. Let's say this beam. So I can select this beam and this column. Okay, this one, double click. And then here, I can select that one individual, and then you can change the color if you like. All right. But of course, if you press B, it will be black and white only. Okay. But again, the color also deals with our pen assignment. Later, if we still have time, I can show you the uh, what do you call that? The print in uh, in PDF files. Okay. So now let's move on to the drawing. Okay. So this one is the 3D drawing. Now let's create the erection drawing. So a GA drawing. So meaning if I go to the control I, so I want to show the grid one. What is grid one? Okay, this is grid one. Let's say I want to show a roof. This is the roof. And then what else? I'm going to show the A, grid A, this one. So meaning I have one, grid A, and roof, and then what else? Maybe first floor, first floor plan. Okay, these three. These four. Okay. So again, go to the drawing properties, GA drawing. So this time I will use again a standard is okay. So let's say I will type here erection drawings. Then under the layout, I will use GA and then specified size A1, apply and okay. So now under this layout, what will be the scale? So let's say 100 scale or maybe 80. 80 is anyway. Anytime you can change the scale if you want. So apply and okay. What else? Uh, View, okay. Dimensions. If you want to put dimensions on the left and then on the above, apply and okay. And then the part marking, okay, the part marking. I want to have only the profile, or let's say, for example, profile or no, don't put the profile, but let's say I'm going to use the assembly position. Assembly position, main part, secondary part, no need. And then here under this one, always not visible, and then this one, apply and okay. So our part mark will be assembly. Okay, maybe assembly position and then the profile. Let's add the profile. So these two I'll put here two, and then I'll change this one to red color. Or maybe the profile is okay. There you go. Apply and okay. So now for the reinforcement, we don't need to show the reinforcement in the erection drawing. So later we can add that one. So if we're okay with that setting, I'm going to apply this one and then click OK. So again, create drawing, GA drawing. So we're going to select what? Grid 1, grid A, first floor, and then roof. And then all selected view in one drawing. So meaning these four view will be placed in one drawing. So create. So that sound meaning there's something wrong in our view. Maybe it's too big. So here we can anyway we can just simply change that one. So okay, this one is the roof. So even this one is the roof. I can just simply uh, change this one here. Yeah, because this roof. So I can remove this one, and then here I can remove also. So this is for the roof, and this is for the section. and this is for the plan. So the reason why there's a sound, because it exceeds to the drawing paper. But look, so there's a numbering already. So B19, B19, B18. So you have a W1, W2. Okay. So here you have already the C, the FUD footing, the strip footing. So all the markings are there. You don't need to add that one. Automatically, the system will add that one for us. And this one here. Okay, look. If this window, sorry, if this wall, if you want to this leader line, if you don't want this leader line to be there, you can just simply double click on this and then change the properties. Instead of adding the leader line, you can put that one inside. Okay, so under the part mark here, under the general, so here you can put that one inside this and then modify only for this particular view if you like. Okay, so this one, see here, nicer. All right, so there you go. And now if you want to show something, let's say, where can we find the rebar? Okay, here there's some rebar here, or let's say this one, this, yeah, here. So if I want to make a detailed view here and then put it here. So you don't this the good thing with Tekla structure is you don't need to redraw that one, this detailed view to blow up. Because here, this detailed view, I can change the scale this one to the blow up detail. So look, if I change the scale this of this one to let's say 15 and then modify. Yeah. So this is the blow up detail of that particular position. And then since this one is a blow up detail, I can show the reinforcement here. So I can turn on visible double lines, modify. So all the reinforcement will be shown here. Okay, if you want to the reinforcement to be more clear, let's say red. So these are the reinforcement. All right. Now apply and okay. If you want to have a section, okay. So since you want to have more details, then you want to have a more section here. So I can use the section view. So look, from the corbel, let's say from here to here, and then put it here. So you have now the section. So you will notice that there is something like a black one because this section is there is a solid hatching. So if you want to remove the solid hatching, that one should be okay. If you go to the part and then under the part you have the fill and then change this one to none, modify, and then okay. So this one you remove the solid hatching. So maybe we'll delete this marking. We don't need that one. So you have now the section. And then you will notice here that no need for you to have a very good imagination when you do the section because the system will automatically create uh, the drawing for us. And then if you want to have a detailed detail of this, you want to get the marking of this rebar. So just simply click here. So here you have a 3048. Now, if you want to add a pull-out picture here, pull-out picture, let's say one factor, let's say zero point 0.5 with a dimension, click OK, modify. So you have now the pull-out picture. So this is the pull-out picture for this. And then here, let's say this one, add applied. So that one with the pull-out picture already. Yeah. So this one also, if you add, see. So you have the four pieces of T12. So this is, you can easily get this information in the drawing. Even though this is a 2D drawing, you can consider this one as a 3D because you can get those information. Okay, so hope this one is clear. Meaning, from the model that we have created, we spend some time in the model, but in the drawing, as you can see, we save a lot of time in the drawing because you don't need to really draw it one by one because you can get it immediately from Tekla structure. Okay. Now let's move on to the next drawing so that we can discuss more. Okay, so say yes here. Now, look at this. Before I create the assembly drawing and cast unit drawing, so look, under the report, if I select all the concrete here, let's say all this concrete, and then here I have the cast unit list, okay, cast unit rebar list, create from selected. So you will notice here that the system will create the report for us. So see, this beam the size of there's no size of the beam, but okay, because this one is a rebar list. So under the B19, these are the reinforcement needed for the B19 or the beam 19. So B20, these are the bar bending schedule report. Okay, so if you want to get only the cast unit list, or let's say create from all, so this one will create only the cast unit. These are all the concrete part. So you have the total volume of the 25 cubic meter total volume. Okay? And then for the steel, so let's say this is the steel part. This one is assembly. So if I select assembly part list, okay, look, assembly part list, create from selected, it's same thing. This one is the bill of material. So let's say the column C22 to UC305 by 305 by 118. These are all the parts connected to this column. Okay, as well as the other columns and then the beams. All right, and even the bolt list. If I want to get the let's say bolt list in XLS file, or see, create from all. So it will create an Excel file for the bolt list. See, these are all the bolts needed in this model. So how many bolts? 128 for 20 by 70, 24 for 55 length, and so on. So this is for the bolt list. And then okay, so now that I since I've shown you the report, so we can now create the drawing. Okay, let's start with the column. So the drawing, cast unit drawing, since I'm handling the concrete and the steel now, so I can show you the rebar. Okay, apply and okay. So select this column, create cast unit drawing. So look what will happen here. So the Tekla structure will create the cast unit drawing for us automatically with all the bar bending schedule and all the dimensions. Okay, so see here, this one can be fabricated now to the shop floors. Okay, so this one is something like this is the link. Okay, this link again can be uh okay, sorry. Okay, this link is a single line. You can use all. If you put all, so everything will be shown. If you say first bar or first and last only, so it will not give you the reinforcement to the middle. Okay, and the good thing here is you have the bar bending schedule in this graph, in this table, or in this graphical representation. Okay, so now let's move on. So this is the okay. Maybe I'll show you. let us create now the beam. Okay, because this one is the column. So this beam, if I create again cast unit drawing, so once you create the drawing, you will find that one under this drawing manager. You can open this. See, I created these two cast unit drawing. So one and two. So this one is the beam. This one is the column. So Control L to open the document manager. So this one is for the beam. So the beam is more simpler because you have only the straight bar and then the links. Okay. All right. So that is for the concrete. And then uh, next is the steel. So let's say this one for column. This column. If I go to my assembly drawing and then open this column with parts. Okay, so I open this attributes column with parts, apply, and okay. So this column, if I create again assembly drawing, so for the steel, it is called assembly drawing. So now it will create the assembly drawing for the steel with all the bill of material and then the cutting list and bill of material. Okay, so here, this is the column. So you will notice that this is the column. So maybe I don't need this. Too much of this information in the welding, but as you notice here, all the dimensions are there, and see the cutting of the plates are already there. See, cutting of the gusset plate, cutting of the base plate, all the dimensions are the fitting dimensions, the welding. Okay, and the most important part of this one is the bill of material. So the bill of material will be calculated automatically. All right, so let's try another drawing. Let's say this beam. So again, I will call now the beam with parts. Sorry, beam with parts. Apply and okay. So select this beam and then create assembly drawing. So once it's create, go to the document manager and then here look for the beam. This one beam B22. See, this one is nice. See, you have all the welding symbol there, the dimensions, overall dimensions, the cutting of the end plate, and then the bill of material. All right. So uh, this is the drawing all about. So meaning from the model that you have created, you can see that we can have the beam drawing, the column drawing, the rebar drawing, or the shop drawing for each and every element. And okay, maybe is there any question? I can also add a little bit of something here that I want to show you. So let's say this one is 1/8. Okay, so let's say this one is C60, modify, and then copy. This one is just an example because I want to show you something here in the visualization. So once we're done with this one, we can you can do the presentation, of course, in the for this model. Let's say you create a video, use this one for your marketing and sales skill, sales video. So here under this view, there is a visualizer wherein I say let's say the 6C60 C60, I will call this one as a timber. Click OK. Yes. All right, and then maybe some other part here is light gravel. Maybe this slab is, I will choose a C30, and then the C30 I will change the C30 to light gravel. Where is that light gravel? Ah, here, light gravel. Click OK. All right, so now what I will do is visualize. So create a visualizer or Trimble Connect visualizer. So as you know, if you notice here, it will give me a quite nice rendered view. Okay. It seems okay. Why it's totally black? Maybe because of the yeah. All right. Okay. The light gravel didn't affect, so maybe I'll change. Let's see. Visualizer C30 light gravel. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's see again if that one will change. No, it doesn't change. Anyway, it's okay. But again, the thing that I want to show here is, yeah, there you go. So if you want to do some video presentation here, you can you can use this one. Okay. Okay. So look, let's say you start with this view. Yeah, let's start with this view, and then you click the plus sign here, and then zoom in. Click the plus sign, zoom in, and then a little bit of rotation, plus sign. Yeah, plus sign, zoom in, plus sign, and then you rotate again, plus sign, and then go back to the original form. So with that one, you can now click this play button. So as you can see here, you can make a walkthrough in your building. Okay. So as you can see here, um, you can record this one in a video, and then you can use this one as your marketing tool. So if your client wants to see the whole model, then this is how you can present the model to them, right? Okay, so here the steel, you can see the bolts, even the actually the concrete. If you zoom in here, if you zoom in here, you can see the reinforcement inside. Yeah, but because of course the reinforcement is not exposed, that's why you cannot see that one outside. All right, so that is the Trimble Connect. And I think I mean that's the Tekla structure, the basic thing that we want to share. But of course, that one is just something like the very basic of what Tekla structure can do, especially in the modeling. So if you notice here, uh, we managed to create the model in no time, of course, and we still have a lot of things to show, but of course, for this session, this is only the thing that we want to show you how we can model the building in Tekla structure.